Now, we're going to do something next year, which also relates to Myles Garrett in a way. ESPN released an article earlier this week that named the current GOAT at each position on the football field and the current player with the best chance to replace said GOAT. So, for example, Steve, you could take 180 here. Tom Brady's the current quarterback GOAT, and ESPN says the potential GOAT here is Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
No
ESPN
surprise
really
here.
went out on a limb on that one.
We're not going to go through all the...
No, I know. What else can you say?
What else do you want?
We're not going to go through all the scenarios, but there's 2.5 that stood out. We'll start with quarterback, and we'll add Deshaun Watson to this category. At running back, their current GOAT was Jim Brown. The potential GOAT was Nick Chubb.
What do you mean we'll add Deshaun Watson to this?
Whoa. Is this for our team or the whole league?
This is for the whole league.
Okay.
I just want to throw Watson in there. If you think he's going to return to even better than Houston form, then maybe he could wiggle his way into that conversation.
I don't think he'll ever. No. To be the greatest of all time, no.
Okay. I just wanted to put his name out there as a potential.
Could he be in an all-pro conversation? Sure. A Pro Bowl conversation? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Greatest of all time? I don't see it.
Just want to throw it out there. At running back, they had Jim Brown as the GOAT and Nick Chubb as the potential GOAT. And at defensive end, Myles Garrett was in the honorable mention list. They had Lawrence Taylor as the GOAT and Micah Parsons as the potential. Taylor's the current GOAT, Parsons as the potential GOAT. So I wanted to ask you guys, we'll count Watson out. Of Chubb or Myles Garrett, who has the better chance to end their career as the greatest of all time at their respective position?
I don't think it's close. I think it's Chubb. I don't think either one will, but I don't think there's any way Myles Garrett's the greatest pass rusher of all time when he retires.
How many
I think Chubb's got a legitimate shot. Now
to be the greatest running back ever?
I think he does.
How long he got to play?
It depends if he. Okay, Nick Chubb's been great since the moment he came in the league. How many more great years can he play? If it's 1 or 2, then no. I'm not saying it's likely that it's going to happen. I'm saying, I'd give it a 5 or 10% chance, which I think is a high. I think Myles Garrett's got 0 chance.
See, I'd go the other way. I think Myles, based on the league, I think Myles has more opportunity than Nick, just because rushing yards, rushing totals, look at how much they ran the ball in the 8. I know we're not just going to compare rushing yardage totals.
Yeah, it's not just that. I mean, there's more to it than that.
But he's got to finish pretty high on the career list in rushing yards to be considered in that conversation. I just don't know that teams are going to run the ball enough to give him that many opportunities.
I just think it for him, it's how many years can he be great, even if it's less carries. Because you look at some of the stuff like in terms of yards per carry, you want to go he's one of the greatest of all time.
I've said before, I think there's 3 Hall of Famers on this team.
Yeah.
Bitonio, Myles Garrett, and Nick Chubb. And they've won nothing.
Nothing. And they've had those 3 guys a while.
That's an indictment on the organization.
Aren't they the 3 longest tenured players? I know Bitonio and Garrett definitely.
No, the long snapper, Charlie Hewlett.
He got it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jason and I both at the same time.
he got it. The all-time sack record is 200.
Yeah.
We talked the other day. He was on. I haven't looked lately, but a couple years ago, he was on pace, stride for stride.
He was.
He has the 6th most sacks through 6 seasons, just to FYI.
How many sacks does he have?
6 seasons, 74.5.
He's not getting 200
sacks. So even if he gets 16 a season for the next 6 years,
he's not.
He still only have 170.5. He would have to put together.
He'd have to average 20 sacks a year.
He would have to drop a 20 this year, a 20 next year, and then get us 16, 15.
I think there's almost no chance. The more I think about it, even saying 10% on Nick Chubb is way too high.
Yeah.
I think Nick Chubb's got a 1% chance of being the greatest running back of all time, and I'll give Myles a 0.25% chance, which, by the way, is a huge compliment to give them anything above a 0 of a guy potentially being the greatest in their position.
Real quick, should Bitonio be in this conversation? I didn't think of Bitonio.
He's a
guards
guard.
are hard.
I don't
he's a
know.
guard.
Guards are hard.
He don't even
if I tell you who's the best guard of all time, who do they have? Mike is the best guard of all time. I don't even know.
I'll look it up. I'm not actually sure.
I wouldn't even know off the top of my tackles. I might know, but guard, who the hell knows? Who's the best guard of all time?
It's hard.
Mike Webster, the best center of all time. Maybe
he's a notable. But here's if Myles Garrett could get the single season record, say he breaks that's 22.5, right? Mm-hmm. He breaks that for Michael Strahan, right? So you can get that record. Then say, okay, let's if he can break that record twice and said I broke it and then did it again, and he gets to about 170, 180 sacks.
I just can't imagine. And again, Myles Garrett's amazing. I can't imagine unless his game goes like just completely off the charts. Great. That 5 years from now I'm going to be saying he's better than Lawrence Taylor. I just don't. I can't imagine that I would ever say that.
He would, and then also he would. Now this is always the cheat code. If the Browns win the Super Bowl, if Myles Garrett is the best player on the team, that gives them a lot of cliche. That gives them a lot of cachet. Yeah. Especially if they win it. Like, he would have to win a Super Bowl or go to the – like, if the Browns win the Super Bowl, that's inflated stats. People are going to give him credit for that.
But I can't imagine the Browns winning a Super Bowl if he's the best player on the team, honestly.
That's how good he would have to be.
Right.
Like Aaron Donald. He won the Super Bowl for the
he sealed the deal. I mean, he did. That sack, if he doesn't get that sack, the Burrow probably throws a touchdown. They win the game.
They win the game.
Yeah,
it's very
I'm not
unlikely.
too bitter
It's very unlikely any of these guys we're talking about are actually going to get there.
Yeah,
I just think with the way they're throwing the ball, the opportunity. Now, we also just said Myles could walk away from the game early. That wouldn't surprise any of us. Yeah. But if he stays, if he does chase records, if he does chase legendary status, I think I love Nick Chubb. I think Myles has a better chance.
I ultimately think, and it's so hard, we're splitting hairs. I just think Nick Chubb, by the slimmest of margins, is a better running back than Myles Garrett as a defensive lineman. If I had to choose,
I don't know how you would evaluate that or gauge that.
I just think Nick Chubb's more consistently great than Myles Garrett is.
The only way,
and that may be unfair. Maybe a lot of people disagree.
The only way Nick Chubb could do it is if the Browns made a conscious decision to say Nick Chubb is going to play here forever. We'll figure it out. He'd have to play as long as
he'd have to be great for like another 7 years. Which is almost impossible.
And his longevity would have to be
like Emmitt Smith,
Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton. But what's the guy from the U? His name
Frank Gore.
Frank Gore.
Yeah, but he wasn't great he wasn't great much of his career. But
he'd
have to play that long, but be great. Mike, where is Nick Chubb on the all-time rushing list right now? I'm sure.
Give me one sec.
I'm just curious.
I don't think he has that many. I think Derrick Henry got a better chance to be like.
See, but I think Derrick Henry is already showing signs of decline.
Well, I said that last year, and then he shut me up over the second half of the year. I hope
he shuts people up again because I just drafted him on my dynasty.
How are you having fantasy drafts in June?
Nick Chubb is 81st on the all-time career rushing yards list right now.
How many yards?
Okay, and if he rushes for 1,500 yards this year, where will he be?
1,500 yards would put him at 7,800 something-ish yards, which would be 56, 57.
He ain't that close.
So if he has 2 more good seasons, he gets into the top 50.
So let's give him 3,000 more yards.
3,000 more yards. Where is
that? Gives him about 9,500 career yards, which brings him just outside the top 30.
So he'd be in 2 years, in theory, he could reasonably be just outside the top 30. Okay,
but then that would take a
big
concerted
toll, no
effort.
Give him 4,200 over the next 3. 4,200 over the next 3. That's 14. That's 1,400.
How old is he?
That gets about 10,500.
Yeah.
Which puts him just above Tiki Barber at 27th all time.
Yeah.
Oh, he got 2.
All right. So he's not getting to.
No.
If he has, what do I say, 4,200? Let me give you 5,500 in 4 years. Does he get to the top 10 with another 5,500?
No. To get into the top 10, he'd have to have 6,000 more yards. He'd have to double what he's done in his career.
So it's like I said, he has to be great. He has to be great, not good, great for at least 5. Didn't I just say 5 more years?
Well, yes.
Yeah. So he needs to average essentially what he's done. He needs to copy and paste that for his career to get
for 5 more years.
Yeah.
Copy and then paste still do something after that.
Yes.
But 5 more years of this level of production would get him to the top 10.
This is why I refuse to talk about Michael Jordan ever again. Like, because you talk about bona fide superstar players, top of their game, with a nice career already. And when you start to extrapolate how much they have to do to even get in the top 10, to be in the conversation, you start to realize when you look at LeBron James' stats, it's just the fact that he's already passed everybody, but he's still playing that well and getting that many points, and he's still racking it up. And it's just like, it's crazy.
He's my GOAT, but I try and abstain from the converstion. So
I remember as a kid thinking, oh, nobody's ever going to score more points than Kareem. I remember thinking that because he had I never thought anybody would pass him.
And
now LeBron's going to go way past.
I was going to say, he's still going.
That's
amazing. Yeah.
He put it out. Yeah.
Before we
Crazy.
move on, I want to ask this question, the big picture, not just the
Yeah.
Browns. So I think Mahomes is the obvious answer of a current player who could become the GOAT.
Yes.
I think Mahomes, if
I mean,
anyone's
I'd
going
take
to go.
Joe Burrow, but okay, whatever.
Outside
ahead.
of quarterback position, is there someone else currently playing in the league that you think could make a run at their respective positions go? Like, does Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson have a chance to catch Jerry Rice?
I mean, Marvin
Does
Harrison
Parsons-
Jr., clearly.
Yeah, he's the greatest of he already got
mean,
1,500.
I think Chase
Right
and
now.
Jefferson both have a chance.
I mean, it's highly unlikely, obviously,
It's
but
only
just
been
asking.
3 and 2 years, respectively. Jerry Rice is so way ahead of everybody else. Yes. Well, is Travis Kelce already the GOAT at tight
I
end?
was thinking that. I was thinking tight
That's
end.
actually well. They listed Gronkowski and the current GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm taking
Kelce.
Kelce over
I
Gronkowski
am
any
too.
day of the week
I am
already.
too.
Okay, I'm wrong. That is the answer. It's not Mahomes. That is
Right.
the answer.
Yeah.
Bad job out of me.
I mean, I think Kelce's already the GOAT.
Probably. Probably.
The guy's amazing. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember, he got hurt his rookie year, didn't play. And I don't think he's had an injury since. I don't think he played a single game his rookie year. Maybe it was the first game he got hurt. But I'm pretty sure he missed his entire rookie season.
He played one game his rookie season.
Right. He got hurt in that game and he was out for the year.
He played 11 of 16 games in 2014, and he has not played fewer than 15 games since.
Yeah, I mean, he rarely misses a game since that rookie year. Where does his touchdowns compare to Gronk?
Stop.
Compared to Gronk,
Yeah.
Oh, this is devastating.
he has, and give me a sec, he has 69 career touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, Gronk was always hurt.
I don't know if this is updated.
Okay.
Oh, you don't want to know the answer to this.
Why?
Gronk has 92.
Gronk out here putting up numbers.
Why do I not want to know the? It's only 23 more touchdowns.
No.
Only 23?
I mean, look. You got to think
You
about.
say only
Travis-
23?
Mike, how many did Travis Kelce have last year?
Well, he got
Last season?
He got 57 now.
No, he got more.
He's got 69. He had 12 last year,
Yeah.
a career high.
So he had 12 last year.
So a couple
So if
more
he
years.
has-
You're
he'll
telling
be-
me in 2 more years he couldn't pass Gronk?
If he has 2 more seasons of the best career of his life, yes. But
He's
You're
showing
right,
no
that's
signs
fair.
of decline at
Fair.
all. I know he's not young, but there's 0 signs of decline from him.
I mean, but you got to think about it.
And by the way, if Gronk ends, how many more? When they're retired, Kelce will, unless Kelce has a catastrophic injury in the next 2 years, I think he'll pass Gronk on the touchdowns. But even if he doesn't, by the time he retires, he'll be within
There's
10.
other categories.
And
as
I
well.
bet you in the other categories, he's way ahead of him.
Well, I'm looking. Tony.
What's their yardage?
Tony
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez
Give me one
has
sec.
15,000
He was
yards.
phenomenal. He was phenomenal.
15,000, bull.
Yeah.
He has 1,325 receptions.
Yeah, it's crazy. Tony Gonzalez was awesome.
so
And
Travis
111
Kelce, I
touchdowns.
got their head-to-head real quick.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce has played 1 more game than Gronk in his career.
Okay, there you go. So the numbers are perfect.
So these are almost exactly comparable. Kelce has 814 receptions. Gronk has 621.
Oh, that's a huge difference.
Kelce has 10,344 yards. Gronk has 9,286.
Big difference.
When it comes to touchdowns, that's where Gronk gets the edge, 92 to 69. That's about it.
All right.
That's about
And
it.
so you said Kelce is how many yards?
Kelce is almost exactly 1,000 more yards.
So what's the number? 10,000?
10,344
And-
as opposed to
And
9,286.
Gonzalez got 15,000?
Yes.
So I think by the time Kelce retires, he'll have about 13,000 yards, maybe more. I think he'll have around 90 touchdowns.
Gonzalez has 111.
You know what? Tony Gonzalez was phenomenal. I saw him play his entire career. I'd still take Kelce over him.
I don't know. Gonzalez is a freak.
Let me tell you this. Antonio Gates has 11,800 yards.
Antonio Gates was a hell of a player.
And Antonio Gates has 116 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
That's stupid. These guys have more receptions and targets than receivers almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Good.
Listen,
gracious.
I still think Kelce's going to put up huge numbers for another couple of years. I don't think that guy has any decline in his game right now. Any other position where we could have a new GOAT?
Remember Jimmy Graham was good?
Well, Aaron Donald, is he already the defensive tackle GOAT?
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Are you just saying that or you know it?
I don't remember who they put up there, and I just closed out of it. so
When
I'm not gonna
when
get
Warren
back into it,
Sapp when
but-
Warren Sapp says he's been the best defensive tackle for 4 years, I gotta believe him because he's one of the best. She's just doing.
What else? What else? Any other goats? Any other potential goats? Linebacker, no. Safety?
No.
I closed the article. I'm not gonna lie. Don't
All
have
right,
it up.
F you. Go ahead.
All right, real quick, we do have a poll
bored
result
with
to
this
get
anyway.
to
Move
on this
on.
question before we pivot to some Guardians talk here. And we bring you a poll result from the YouTube chat. It's brought to us by PCC Airfoils. We're looking for a
Facts.
job with career advancement and great benefits. Well, PCC Airfoils is the leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Menor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 and up, plus full benefit packages, paid time off, and a signing bonus. You can apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more. Over 300
By the way, you know what
votes.
would be a funny show, a funny reality show? You, Earl, and Anthony and Steve living in a house in Minerva.
In Minerva.
In Minerva.
Where'd you come up
That's
with
Because
Minerva?
it always makes me laugh when Mike says Minerva on the PCC commercials.
We love Minerva. Some
Do you know
of my favorite
anybody
people
from
in the world
Minerva?
are from Minerva.
Does anybody here know anybody from Minerva?
Yeah, I went to college with.
Where is Minerva exactly?
It's in Ohio.
Of course it's in Ohio.
It's not far from here.
No, I know it's not that far, but like, is it east side?
No,
It's on
south,
planet
like
Earth.
Kent-ish.
Oh,
Ish.
Kentish.
Ish.
Kentish. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we asked the chat. We had over 200 votes. Which current Brown has the best chance of being the GOAT at their respective positions?
Yeah.
In third place, Deshaun Watson with 8% of the vote. In second place, Myles Garrett with 39% of the vote, and Nick Chubb with 51% of the vote is our
Well, the
PCC
chat usually gets
poll
it wrong,
winner.
so I'm not surprised.
Usually wrong.